at his phone when telling me the voice character. That's how impressive this is today. I just want to note this.
Me, I'm only doing this just to confirm it, make sure I'm actually...
Oh, I know, but the fact that every voice so far in the last, 5 or 6 characters, you've literally just said off the top of your head. I just want to note that to people. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Bug
and of course, Spoke comes and goes, you were running from a rabbit? Yeah, you were running there too, buddy boy.
But he's a cartoon character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's like, you're not a cop? All right, you got me. I'm a rabbit.
So, Bugs immediately knows what a joint is, apparently.
Well, he's an actor.
Well, not even that. Bugs is older. From the 40s, right? So it's kind of like, okay, fine, I think he would know.
Yeah.
He would know. Seriously, okay.
Although if he was from the 40s, you would call it a reefer.
That's true. Well, we have the 90s, that vernacular. So, and then I ever watched this verse, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm a kid, and I'm wondering what the hell is going on.
I was going to say, amazing. An anti-drug special, and it feels like they were on 7 different herbs when they wrote this.
Allegedly.
Wrote this, acted in it, produced it, animated it. There's more THC going through this the entire Burning Man. There's more THC going through this in the entire Burning Man festival. Thank you, Neil Patrick Harris, for that line.
So he pulls out a random button out of whatever the hell he pulls things out of all the time.
Hammer space.
Why not? And he presses the button, and it materializes, and it becomes a time machine.
But not just any time machine.
Where did he get it from?
Acme.
Or where did he get it from?
He goes, it's a time machine. I borrowed it from some coyote.
Great line. That's a very funny. That line kind of got screwed up in the transfer, but that's a very funny line.
Although I will have to admit, though, I have to give the writers credit. They actually kept everyone really in character.
It really did. Throughout this, despite the drug talk, everyone was in character. They went along with the battle.
I mean, let's be honest. It really does make sense that Simon would know what weed is.
The same with Bugs.
Yeah.
So, after Product, I just wrote that down, and we go back to home and we find out that Michael's dad is complaining there's a couple of beers missing. I'd like to know, by the way, it's a Saturday morning, and he's watching football on a Friday night.
Okay.
Which makes absolutely no sense, but go ahead.
And by the way, he is also the same guy who does the voice of Michelangelo, a guy named Townsend Coleman. Oh,
really? That's who's playing him?
Yeah.
I know Coleman, of course, but...
Yeah.
So... I wrote down a funny joke, and this is pre-Toy Story, but I just found this joke funny.
Yeah.
That at this point, because Corey's lying about her brother, and Pooh breaks the Toy Story rule, and talks to her directly, and asks why she didn't tell his parents the truth.
A valid question.
A very valid question, but I just wrote down Pooh breaks the Toy Story rule.
We toys can see everything.
So they talk. They have a heart-to-heart. And meanwhile, in a black and white past.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's a thing.
Apparently the time machine took him back to the Twilight Zone. And also, by the way it spins, it must have been the Vomit Comet before they turned it into a time machine.
So, the past, according to Bugs, is always in black and white.
Why not?
Because they didn't feel like colorizing this scene.
They couldn't afford to go 8 cents over the budget. Once again, they animated this. Just a little bit of trivia. A normal bit of half-hour animation back then.
Right.
Back then.
1990.
Sent overseas to be animated. Takes 12 to 16 months. They did this in 6.
Weeks or months?
Months.
You said weeks before.
Sorry, let me...
You said weeks before.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Sorry, it takes 6 to 12 weeks.
That'd be way too long for a half-hour.
Or, sorry, it takes 12 to 16 weeks. This took 6 weeks to animate, and it shows.
Well, I'm going to say, because of the black and white, I wrote down when I was a kid, because I don't think he's looking at him stuff 5 minutes ago. And then magically he turns
and helpfully he's wearing a shirt that says M on it.
What's funny is he looks like he's looking at himself 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then we cut to it and suddenly he's 7 years younger.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Yeah. Okay. And even better is that when he goes to look at himself, he's still looking at Bugs.
I didn't even got that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. To which I have to say, what? Is he using his peripherals?
I love the fact that he said, "Are you cruising for lung cancer or what, young Michael?" I thought that was pretty funny.
Now that's a line that would get anybody beaten up.
Well, no, it gets you from peer pressure into having drugs. Apparently, in this world.
I was gonna say, did that ever happen to you?
Nope, I've never ever dealt with peer pressure before when it comes to drugs ever.
Same here.
Smoking a little bit, but I'm very anti-smoking, so
we were totally lied to by our PSAs.
Bugs did do the cliche, if everyone was jumping off a cliff, would you too line?
Sure, I'd land on a fat kid.
Oh, God. And Smoke decides to say he's experimenting with some friends. What the fuck?
Boy, there's a line that takes on a whole new connotation nowadays.
I know, really. That's a very dated joke now.
And even better if you actually pause at several points throughout the special, you can see a skull briefly superimposed over Smoke's face.
Yeah, we mentioned that a few times throughout the special. Yeah, I noticed that a few times.
Yeah.
So, we come back to the. Oh, actually, I made a note here. It said Bug blew up Smoke in the middle of the time machine, right?
As in, he literally stuck an air hose into him and pumped him until he blew.
And you know what, though? It is Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And that is Looney Tunes joke. I can go with that 100%. My note was, how did blowing him up not give Bugs a contact high?
Well, maybe he's immune. I mean,
yeah. So, we cut back home, and they're talking about Michael at home, and I have the line down that being weird is part of being a teenager.
Yeah, Corey's talking with her father in the garage. She's trying to say that, Michael's been acting weird, and she goes, well, being weird is being part of being a teenager. I'm living proof that being weird is something you never grow out of.
So this is where my notes get weird, because the show took a really weird sharp turn to the left at this point. And we cut back to the park, apparently.
Yeah.
And apparently it's $10 for crack, according to this world.
Boy, inflation. I was going to say, man, where can I get crack for $10?
Oh, seriously.
That's a fucking bargain nowadays.
$10 for crack in 1990.
Yeah. Nowadays, that'd be a bargain.
Okay, so Smoke
and of course, Michael has objections. That's serious stuff.
So Smoke steals his wallet right out of his pocket, because that's a thing. And he throws it to his friend. Did he ever get his wallet back, by the way?
I don't think he did.
Okay. So
they start playing international keep away.
Yeah, they run.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, Michael falls into a sewer. And you see where this is going.
Of course, whatever opened the manhole winds up taking care of Smoke by having him run into the manhole cover.
So we find out who opened the sewer.
Mikey!
And voiced by, I mentioned this already, but can it again?
Townsend Coleman.
Who, by the way, did voice him again in the new special that came out
a
couple weeks ago. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I made it known because you were talking about the sewer water.
Yeah.
And I wrote down in my notes that it was
so
pink and purple and orange.
What the hell are they standing in? What are they? What are they, near a 3 Mile Island?
I understand the sewers are gross, but in the cartoon, it's a normal color. Yeah. It really is a normal color.
Well, maybe they're running into Macaulay Culkin from the Pagemaster, running the other way from that paint dragon.
Pagemaster joke. Oh my god, a Pagemaster joke.
Yeah, he's running. Yeah,
that was dated.
Yeah,
wow.
Going to the sewers, they run into Richard Tyler coming the other way, pursued by that paint dragon.
All right. So at this point, okay, Mikey says, talking about the drugs, and his brain really must be messed up, and then he randomly.
Hey! Those who live in glass houses, Mikey.
He randomly pulls a drain.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do in sewers. You pull a drain.
Boy, if it were only that easy.
And Michael falls through the drain, like you do. Yeah. and he lands in a train car.
Yeah.
With Piggy and Kermit.
A roller coaster car with Piggy and Kermit.
Why not?
And, of course, Kermit explains that this is the human brain. Wow, it's a lot more roomy than I thought it would be.
So, okay, you were making Inside Out jokes.
Yeah,
by the way.
I'm sorry. I said we were so lied to by Inside Out.
Or we lied to in 1990, and Inside Out makes more sense.
Ooh, good point. So apparently the inside of my brain is the beast at King's Island.
Why not? So... where am I? Oh yeah,
really? I thought the inside of my brain would be a David Lynch movie.
This is literally what I wrote in my notes, because we're on this roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And I literally wrote down, because Kermit's talking about how for every up there's a down, and I literally wrote down, what the fuck is going on? Would you like to explain what the fuck was going on at this point?
Okay, for every up there's a down, and thus at that point the coaster takes a sharp down. Basically, it's trying to explain that, of course, it'll make you feel good for a little while, then you'll crash.
And we randomly run into Gonzo, who's painting.
Yeah. It's going to say, the more you go up, the faster you come down. Of course, this is only one artist's conception.
What the hell? What the hell? Gonzo's right here. Okay, why not?
Why not? Everyone else is randomly here. Why not?
It's true. He just pops up out of nowhere. Where am I? No, sorry.
I think you were at what the fuck is going on here.
How about what the hell is going on? Actually, that's the next thing I found out.
So
then we cut back. We cut down to we land inside his head.
And
literally inside his head.
You were inside me? Whoa.
So we're inside his head when he's smoking.
Yeah.
And this drives Piggy crazy.
Yeah.
Completely nuts.
Yeah.
And they run out the exit door of his brain, which is, of course, an error. Why not?
Well, this is after he takes a puff and his head gets filled with smoke. How can anyone think clearly in this?
And
he's skateboarding at the time as well.
Yeah, randomly on a skateboard for no reason whatsoever.
But of course, since he's impaired, it's basically
like he's fucking drunk.
Yeah. So apparently, weed gets you drunk.
Well, weirdos and children first.
Yeah,
write that line
Gonzo
down.
goes abandoned brain. Weirdos and children first.
Okay, and then he makes a clarified point that it's my brain and I can't get out. Of course, Michael, thank you for that.
Well, duh, it's your brain.
And then he falls down on the grass.
Yeah.
And this is where the fever dream
Help
starts.
Help me.
This is where the fever dream officially starts because suddenly he gets woken up by Huey, Dewey, Louie.
I'm seeing ducks now.
Voiced by
Rusty Taylor.
I didn't make sure I'm setting you up. Make sure we cover everybody.
Maybe I should get off the drugs.
Which was a great joke. That was a great joke.
Okay, maybe they were actually sober when they wrote this after all.
That's a great joke.
Which actually scares the crap out of me more if they thought up half of this shit when they were sober.
This would have been the most fucked up freaking session. So then we start singing. We start the musical number.
Oh, and you might want to mention who wrote this because
go ahead, do it.
No, you do that. You love them.
Howard Ashman and Alan Menken, two of my favorite composers of all time.
They were picked by Roy Disney himself to
I don't blame them. They're one of the best. The absolute best
to
of all
write
time.
a song for this called "Wonderful Ways to Say No."
And this is where Tinker shows up randomly.
Voiced by Jim Cummings.
Friend of the show, Jim Cummings.
Hi, Jim.
So this is I don't have many notes.
And this was one of his first appearances as Tigger after Paul Winchell retired.
Yeah, I don't have many notes for this because it was just a song number. I won't put the song here because it was such a random thing to watch.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, you look like three fine lads. You know, I might have something here you'd like to try. Something to make you feel real good.
There's a myriad wild and wonderful ways to say no. No thanks. No way.
Better learn a few and take them wherever you go.
No thanks, no sir.
If your pal says let's get high,
Here's a practical reply. Go ahead, let fly spit right in his eye and say no.
There's a myriad international ways to say no.
Those drugs are so boring.
All around the world, the smart guys are giving up dope.
I'm in training for football.
People in they just say fine.
And they tell me that works fine. Cause the bottom line's too short, you're trying to say no. Now you could say beat it, get lost, get out of my face with that stuff. But that could be tactless. You may prefer cool. Like this. I'll get to my later, okay? I've got too much homework. It's rough.
I'm late for my baseball game and I'll miss my ride.
My kid sister needs me. Her hamster died.
Hurry home.
There's no time to kill. So I'll catch you later. Like that guy would.
There's a myriad wild and wonderful ways to say no.
Guess I'm allergic. And a good excuse is something you never outgrow.
That's my complexion.
when your pal say let's get wrecked,
Muster up your self-respect.
Go on, push, eject, protect yourself. Get up and go. Be the first one on your block to say, forget it, Doc.
That's a good one. There's myriad zillion wonderful ways to say no. Stop that, stop that, there's myriad zillion wonderful ways to say no.
The one thing I did write down was that Piggy literally karate chopped the fourth wall and broke the screen. Because, well, that's what Piggy does.
Oops, I hope you got the extended warranty.
So, he wakes up from his fever dream at home.
Yeah.
Because apparently that entire musical number was a fever dream.
And actually, while I'm here, I want to point this out. A lot of people are going, wow, their cartoon characters being such jerks to him.
Well,
And actually, someone actually pointed this out on TV Tropes under the Fridge Brilliance thing, that they're basically mimicking the effects of drugs. They may seem to be your friend for a while, but they're really going to fuck you up.
that's true.
They're going to fuck you over, so basically they're just trying to get that through the kids' minds.
So we're home, and Corey walks in with Pooh Bear.
Of course.
Like he does. he tells her that Pooh Bear is worried about him, and he tells her to tell Pooh Bear to mind his own business. Back at the sentence at this point in the movie, it's hysterical to me. So Michael grabs Corey's arm and pushes her into the wall.
Lightly,
not even difficultly, but this apparently is a big deal. Because while you're beating up your little sister, obviously I don't blame them for making a big deal out of it. You can't really do much more than that.